General weather outlook for the next couple of weeks into the northern plains and upper Midwest. The news is not good. We will continue with this drought weather pattern, meaning too much heat, not enough rain. Of course, the areas are really focused into the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, maybe north central, northwest Iowa. Getting a little less of a problem when you get down into the rest of the Corn Belt, where it's actually being a fairly good growing season. I'm beginning to become reminded of the following 3 years, 2012, 1988, and 1976. These were the most recent widespread northern plains drought years. And of these 3 years, it's hard to say which one the present year resembles most. All right, but these are 3 years which all had extreme drought, too much heat, not enough rain. 2013 ended up being a fairly wet year. 1977 ended up being a fairly wet year. In 88, the drought really extended into 89, and it took a couple years in the early 90s before most of the region recovered. Of course, on the other side of this would be a look back to the 1930s, where really for about a dozen years there was not enough rain and too much heat. At this point, you can't tell which way this thing's going to go, but it's probably going to take a considerable amount of moisture to recover. And my guess is even if it starts raining in the fall, unless we get significant rainfall, we're still going to have some moisture deficit problems next year. We'll see. Hot weather into the northern plains, hot and dry. The temperatures this week, as the jet stream ridge really goes north, there are going to be a lot of hundreds getting up into the Dakotas. Won't be 100 degrees everywhere, but quite a bit of that kind of weather. Southeast will be typically hot, just temps around 90. Looks like a bit of rain and some cooling in the southern plains, and of course the southwest deserts will continue to be quite hot as we go through the week. I don't really see much relief into the northern plains. There will be some jet stream troughing into the Great Lakes, but all that will do is help fuel some thunderstorms in the eastern Corn Belt. There could be a stray storm by the end of the week, the weekend, or next week into the northern plains, but the chance of rain is really not looking promising at all. And the hot weather will likely continue into the final week of July, although there may be some signs of some relief toward the end of this period. I fully expect 90s and maybe some scattered 100-degree temperatures again next week. So we're talking basically hot weather in through the northern plains. Now, as far as precipitation goes, this week dry. I really do not anticipate anything other than isolated showers. Southern and eastern edges of the Corn Belt will be in pretty good shape. Monsoonal moisture coming up out of the Pacific and Mexico will gradually into the end of July start feeding into the Rockies. Southern plains look dry next week. We may get some widely scattered rains across the northern plains, but it's really the eastern part of North America where the rainfall will be concentrated. Not a lot in the Great Plains or the West.